Malaysia's government has identified several weaknesses and issues in the handling of recent devastating floods. Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob told a special parliamentary sitting that weaknesses in command and control need immediate improvements. He also disclosed that warnings of continuous heavy rains were ignored by certain parties. Melissa Go with this report.
It's a war of words in Parliament during the one-day sitting to discuss the recent flood disaster that saw more than 50 dead. Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob urged the public not to blame him or his government.
Kalau kata saya tiada, tak nampak muka waktu banjir, hari pertama pun, malam tu saya dah keluar, berada di lapangan. Cuma saya tak tahulah rakan-rakan lain. Saya tak nampak rakan-rakan lain pun, ahli parlimen.
The incessant rainfalls for days in December, he said, was unprecedented and complicated by high tide phenomenon. Mr. Ismail Sabri said Met Services issued at least 6 weather alerts, but no one took heed. He added that disaster agencies were prepared and had entered these flood-hit areas to begin evacuation. But residents were more worried about their possessions than wanting to be rescued, and some were afraid of COVID-19 infection at relief centres. The government has spent about $1.5 billion so far in flood relief and recovery efforts. The bulk was spent on fixing the infrastructure. And in the long term, it will cost $70 billion to mitigate and manage the flood problems over 50 years. Opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim wants the government to make timber companies pay for the destruction of life and property.
Harus ada ketetapan memaksa syarikat-syarikat bala ini bayar sebahagian negara rugi. Ya, dia bayar cukai bukan untuk rosakkan rumah orang. Dia bayar cukai bukan untuk menyebabkan banjir. Kalau tidak, kita nampak umpamanya lemah dalam menghadapi golongan-golongan atasan.
Former Youth and Sports Minister Syed Saddiq said it's high time for lawmakers to put aside their differences to protect the environment for future generation.
The point is we don't want in the future, when there is a change in government, the same attitude continues. We need to ensure that there is a change in mindset so that we become more proactive, not just reactive in dealing with floods, landslides and climate change.
Now, it's a giant wake-up call, environmentalists said, and it can't be business as usual. Lawmakers from both sides of the political aisle must take climate change seriously before it's too late. And you don't have to go far to see signs of environmental degradation. Now, even here, outside the Parliament House, minor landslides are everywhere.
And there's no time to lose, and that's why many environmental activists are taking the case straight to lawmakers at federal level, hoping that decisive policy actions will be taken. They plan to deliver a memorandum to the King this weekend. Melissa Go, CNA, Kuala Lumpur.